Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to another episode of the Brother Banter Show. This is a show where two brothers talk about stuff, and today is probably going to be a little more controversial than previous episodes. But we've talked about a lot of different things in the show, and we're just two people. We give our honest opinions, and that's it. We're 100% honest, and if we're wrong, we'll admit it. If we feel one way very strongly, we'll give a convincing argument as to why. But that's kind of who we are. My name is Nick, and I'm joined by my brother and my co-host Jack. And let's jump right into it and talk about the rioting and the looting and the mass craziness that is happening right now. That's just destroying cities. So yeah,
It's not even. I can't even say it's just across America. It's not even across America. It's now. I heard that, at work we were talking about it being in like Europe and shit.
yeah, I've seen people in France protesting, and maybe a couple places in Germany. Berlin maybe.
Mm.
But yeah, so this all started with the unfortunate death of George Floyd, a black man, at the hands of a white police officer. Okay. Watch the video, and that man
Disgusting.
clearly should not have done what he did, and he was correctly, arrested and charged with third-degree murder. And I think there's one thing that we can all agree on is that was a horrific crime, a sin that guy committed, and he's going to pay for it.
They're all going to jail on murder now.
Yeah, I just saw that the crime for the murder was elevated from third-degree murder to second-degree murder, and then the other officers are being charged with like aiding and abetting a murder. So one thing about the transitioning it from third to second is that second-degree murder, you have to prove that in this case, the officer had intent to kill.
Oh my god.
So
really? I didn't know that.
So really, moving it from third to second degree is going to be very, very, very hard to prove in the court.
Mm.
Like third degree, is kind of like a little more lenient. Like, obviously there was a murder, but it wasn't necessarily. You don't have to prove intent to kill. I guess that wasn't like, his goal when he started kneeling on that guy's neck. I guess. So it's gonna be very hard to prove in court that was his intent to kill. So it sounds good, and that's what they did it for. Whoever it was, the attorney general for the state, I believe, did that. So yeah, that we can all agree that was bad. That man deserves to go to jail, and he will get what punishment he's deserved. So now, after that, we come to these protests, and everybody knows that it's going to turn violent. Like, how many times, like, you're 22 years old, I'm 26. How many times, just in our short lives, have we seen these protests turn violent? Like,
I just think about Ferguson.
Yeah, exactly.
Like that's like the number one place that really sticks out in my mind, especially because you were there.
Right. Yeah, I was
near there.
I was about an hour. I was in Columbia, and that was like 2.5 hours away, I think.
Yeah.
So, yeah, but like just in our lives, like we've seen Ferguson starts out as peaceful protests, turns into mass riots, looting, arson, and then same thing in
just destroy a whole town.
Yeah, but like same things happen in like Baltimore, and I know there's one other one. It's slipping my mind, but yeah. So like all these people who go out there and like the video camera people, the media people, they're just it's just peaceful protesters, but you know, or you shouldn't be surprised when it turns into absolute chaos. And these people, like especially like media people, are just, they're either surprised or shocked that it's turning violent, or they're totally downplaying it. And like some of the things that I've heard them say, the media say, is that, the kind of, this is what happens when you don't listen to these people, or um, like, you had it coming for being white, basically, which is
Mm-hmm.
horrible. Like, that's shit. Saying that shit, like the media condoning that, like the violence, and just saying, yeah, well, this is what you had coming, pretty much, or it's deserved. That's like,
It's so
that's
fucked.
how you start like a civil war, like us versus them. And unfortunately, because of our skin color, we are the them. We are the white devil.
Yeah.
We are the evil ones. We're the oppressors.
Yeah, and it's unfortunate because I ain't got no say in that. It's bullshit
Mm-hmm.
because like now I see on like Twitter and shit, people are like pick a fucking side,
Mm-hmm.
and it's like, what? Like I don't hate nobody. I got hate in my heart for no one. Like it's all love from here, you know. But this is scary in the fact that it resembles like the 1960s like race riots and shit. And like I don't, well, I've never, so like race riots and shit like this has happened and it's been like been known to happen, but like we had to set out, I had to set out barricades
Yeah.
because they were worried. Like I had to do that. I fucking drove to work and there was trucks like the big ass like dealers that we had.
Mm-hmm.
They were parked at every entrance, so nobody could get into Beecher, no one could get into the high school, no one could get into the police station, none of that shit. It was
Wow.
all fucking closed down. Like I've never seen a police presence. We had Montgomery police, we had canine units from all the fuck over the place, dude. Like Target's closing at just obscure hours of the fucking day. Walmart's not open. Fucking there was riots like probably 10 minutes away from my apartment in DeKalb. Like
Jeez.
like this is some real fucking shit, man. Like and it's like I don't know what to do. Like we seriously just lay here so hard in the cut because it's like I don't like this. It's fucked up on both sides. Like it's terrible that a man lost his life. It's
Yes.
devastating that it came to that. But is it worth having a riot and burning down a town and risking more people's lives in a fire?
To
Like
the people that are doing it, yes. And to the people that are doing that, it has nothing to do with racial inequality, racial injustices, or George Floyd. It has nothing to do with them.
and this is why I hate going to work every day because they talk about the protesters and the rioters as if they're the same. And that shit irks me and I
No,
fucking they're
not at
not the
all.
same people. They're not the same fucking people.
No,
It's
I
like
agree.
I've had serious conversations with grown men about what morals should be had about people in general. And it's like it's just asinine to me. Like I'm fucking 22 years old.
Mm-hmm.
Like and I can see better than you can when it comes to promoting life in general. I think just the fact that there is such a lack of respect for life is just disgusting. Like it doesn't matter anymore.
Exactly. So there are small groups of peaceful protesters. They want, they want, uh, well, really, I don't know what they want, because they say, no justice, no peace. That's, the big saying. But I mean, like, what more justice do you want? The guy was charged with murder. He's gonna be convicted. Well, maybe not now because they changed it to second degree murder, but he will get charged with third and
Yeah.
convicted of third degree. Um, so like, what more justice do you want? Like, do you want us to devolve into, 100 years ago, where like we're gonna drag this guy through the streets and like beat him to death for doing what he did? Like,
Public
what
thing.
justice? What justice is gonna please these groups like Black Lives Matter? What justice is gonna prove like what are they gonna do? What are they gonna accept? And
Yeah.
the answer is nothing, because it's not about justice for George Floyd. It's not about that at all for them. They want to incite violence, to push a very, very radical agenda. They're hijacking these events like George Floyd, like Michael Brown, like the couple others that I don't remember the names of, but they're hijacking these events to promote a very radical agenda that is down with the white man, destroy capitalism, basically turn America on its head. And their core one of their core messages is that like America and white people are inherently racist and evil. And that's so wrong and so dangerous. But like we were talking about, like I mentioned before, the media, which has a very, very left leaning bias,
Yeah.
goes with it and just pushes that narrative. And that's how we get to where we are today, where the President of the United States has to invoke the Insurrection Act to send in the military to break up these riots, to stop people's right to live and their right to property from being stepped on by these rioters.
It's just this is just like the weirdest fucking time we could ever have lived. Like honestly, we're living through the first ever world like pandemic that like media has blown so far out of proportion that this pandemic is literally based more on fear than it is a virus.
Yes.
So that's a world first.
Yeah.
And now we're on top of that, we're just saying fuck it. Just light the Molotovs. Let's ride, boys. Like we're just it's just so shocking to me that people are just so willing to take advantage of a situation. Just like it's just disgusting. It's gross. It's a gross world that we're forced to witness here.
Dude, so I've seen like clips of people from CNN and MSNBC and like Fox News, and they're all like just not talking about like what the real thing is. Like they each have their own agenda. You know, the right leaning Fox News wants it to be like the rioters are bad, Trump's good.
Yeah.
CNN and MSNBC are protecting the rioters and saying, "Oh, they're mostly peaceful." And there's like countless videos of these reporters like just standing out there in the middle of this fucking riot, and the guy's like, "Yeah, it's mostly peaceful." And there's a building burning behind this guy in the background, and then he gets a bottle thrown at him. Like there's countless videos like that, and then there's just countless videos, and they're like, oh yeah, it's mostly peaceful. Like we haven't seen much of anything. There's not a whole lot of damage when there's a fucking building burning in the background. Like what kind of dishonest journalism are you doing right now? And then if
Is there honest journalism really anymore?
yes, but it's hard to find. Um,
That's why I was like, what do you it's who do you believe? Like who do you trust? What bullshit do you want to be fed?
you want to be fed from the people who don't have an agenda. You want to be fed from the people who are not the big corporations where they're dying. Like these mainstream media conglomerates are dying because nobody trusts them, nobody watches them, so they keep pushing this more radical narrative to get clicks and get views and get ad revenue because they're beholden to their stockholders and everything, and um and in most of the cases their owners, the owners of the media conglomerates, are very, very liberal, and they want to push that agenda, so they use their media arm to do that. So yeah, it's really, really disturbing that we've come to a time like this. Um, yeah, what do you think?
It's just like the people. Oh, you're. So I mean, all this time that we've looked to like the society, mass society has looked to like the newspaper for like genuine news, and like you could trust like that newspaper.
Yeah,
So you knew the people there most likely being like a local paper and
right,
shit. I don't now that I work at the county, I know where a lot of shit comes from around here, and like I'm talking to these motherfuckers, and like shit, you there everybody there's somebody who owns everything in that goddamn wherever the fuck you live.
right,
So having a local paper is nice because someone locally owns it, so it's gonna be probably pretty genuine.
right, and
But like,
well, and because they have accountability, like
yes, you can genuinely trust it. It's going to be truthful. But now it's like you have to fact check literally everything you fucking hear. Everything at the 2016 election, him or her, regardless, it doesn't fucking matter, red or blue. You had to fact check all of it
mm-hmm.
because it's all dog shit.
Yeah,
It's like, and like people are put it out. You put it out there, and it's just like you say this is fact, and people are gonna believe it because you're saying it.
mm-hmm.
It's a fact. It's like Fox News or who. It doesn't matter, red or blue. This is all fucking politics when it comes down to it.
Right.
Honestly,
It's all the great power struggle.
it's just so it's just like why? What the fuck? Why can't we just tell the truth about like what's really going on in the world? What if the world was honest for once, like with each other? Like what if we just said fuck it? Like you're China, we're America. Uh, you got fucking more rice patties than we got. I got more corn. You got I think we can make a trade here. Some. It's like it just seems so simple to me, and we all like. Is it just us as like humans? Is it in human nature that we just have to fucking be like, no, this is mine, and you go fuck yourself? Like
Mm,
I don't understand.
maybe yes, but I also like how we always talk about most people are mostly good.
Yes.
So so in this social media age that we live in, and social media quote on like quotation marks hard uh,
Mm.
journalism, social media journalism, um,
Uh,
it's all sensationalism. It's all chasing clicks. Whatever
yeah.
you can get somebody to click on, whatever it takes. And so that's why you can't trust anything because they say these outrageous things just to get clicks and views. Um, but one thing that I wanted to talk about in regards to the riots
Mm.
was how they're being. We mentioned earlier how they're being hijacked, like the peaceful
Well, yeah, it starts
protests.
out. It's like okay, so this is how it was described to me in
Mm-hmm.
multiple instances from people all across the county. It starts out as a peaceful protest and is literally as the night or as the sun goes down, it's as if a completely different crowd comes out.
Well, no, and they do. That's for real.
I
Like,
know, and that's why, yeah, it's like people like taking Penske trucks and driving around and just jumping out of a fucking truck with baseball bats and shit.
mm-hmm. And
Disgusting.
they drop off. So there's this group called ANTIFA, which
Yeah.
is like short for anti-fascist, but they're
Hmm.
Trump just labeled them a terrorist organization, which they should be. But they are one of the main instigators in inciting violence at these protests. So like they have all these people like planted in the protests,
Mm.
and when it gets to a certain point, or like when it gets to a certain like density of people, they know like mob rule or mob mentality will take over. As they just have to give it a little push, so
Yeah.
there'll be in the front there'll be a line of policemen. So
Mm.
I'll try and line it up here in the video. So there'll be a line of policemen, barricade, whatever, and then
Yeah.
space, and then the peaceful protesters just holding their signs, doing what they're doing, like totally in their rights. You have a right to protest. It's what they do.
Yeah.
Totally in their rights. And then behind them are these Antifa people, and they'll start fucking lobbing bottles and bricks and shit at the police officers, and then all hell breaks loose. And so then once because there's multiple locations, in a city where this kind of thing is happening. So
Yeah.
then these people will try to corral and lead these separate mobs into one large mob, and they supply bricks. Like these Antifa people, literally drop off pallets of bricks in these special locations, just waiting for people to stumble upon them, and they start fires. They're very good at arson.
Yeah. Seen a few buildings burned down.
Yep,
It's kind of interesting.
yep. So that they have the bricks, and they start fires, and they're coordinating and like communicating with each other, and then they are like spray painting like Black Lives Matter. It's white people from like fucking Portland is like where their headquarters is, and they're
Yeah.
all like just total or they're Marxists. They basically want to destroy the foundation of the United States, and create like a USSR situation. So yeah, we got Antifa.
Like Karl's Marx.
Yes.
Jesus fucking Christ, we're going straight commie.
Yes, that's what they are. And so you've got Antifa, and then you've got like Black Lives Matter, which are inciting and promoting violence against police officers specifically. So those two groups are the main culprits in this violence fueled riot storm that we have.
Is it ever gonna end? Like
Yes, because Trump
well,
did
yeah,
the Insurrection Act.
Donnie's gonna fucking say it's gonna be martial law, and oh my god, I thought there was gonna be martial law earlier in the year because like I thought the grocery stores were gonna close down and shit.
And there'd just be mass riots about that, like people
Yep.
not getting the food.
And yep, but nope, it's just race riots.
So
2020 race riots.
okay, yeah,
This year's literally a fucking year for the history books.
it's crazy. So the thing about the Insurrection Act that I thought was interesting was that, Trump specifically mentions that he's keeping people's Second Amendment right intact. So what that means is he's not trying to use the military to dominate people like the average citizen. He wants to get rid of the protests and the riots. So by keeping the Second Amendment right active, he's not trying to dominate people. He's trying to help the average people, because like you still have the right to defend yourself. And that's one thing. Like, dude, the police literally abandoned these cities and left people to fend for themselves. So that's when you, as a citizen, need to exercise your Second Amendment right to protect yourself. You have a right to protect yourself. Like, go ahead.
I go to work every day, and these people are much more right leaning than I am, perhaps. So they
Right now, you'll come around when you start getting taxes like I get.
Yeah, probably. But I don't know. I listen to both sides. But anyways,
Right, you should, and so
fucking
do I.
yeah, I know. But they just showing me pictures of people in Chicago, like they're just posted up in their shops, like in Chicago streets, AR-15 sitting in the window, like fucking let's go, motherfuckers!
Yeah.
Like you want smoke, you're gonna get it.
Mm-hmm.
Like holy shit to people. Like now think about like what if Hillary would have won? Would this have played out? Do you think?
Yeah, I mean, because it wouldn't have changed the virus.
No.
It wouldn't have changed the police officer killing that guy. So, yeah, I mean, regardless. And you know, the point you're trying to make is, would it be different if there was a Democrat in
Yeah.
in office? The funny thing is, the cities that are getting absolutely ravaged by rioters and looters, they've had Democratic governors and mayors for years and years and years. So I don't think party matters, but
Yeah.
I think that the Democratic mayors are letting it happen. Like, for instance, the New York City mayor, um, there was like a Jewish group that wanted to, it was like a couple weeks ago, they wanted to gather for mass and pray. He
Yeah.
sent in the New York Police Department to stop them from doing that because of the risk of COVID-19 spreading. Okay,
Yeah.
so he tweets out whatever, this is dangerous. You're not allowed, you can't do this. I'm sending in the police or whatever. And then like yesterday, he tweets something in support of the protesters who are gathering en masse. They're
Without
huge,
masks.
yeah, huge groups of people without masks. So it's like the fucking hypocrisy is so blatant and like so prevalent. It's just blows my mind. It makes me sick. Just that these people can, and they get away with it. Like he's not gonna get unelected because there's so many like white intellectuals and people of color that are gonna vote Democrat no matter what. And
Well, yeah.
you've got this rural country folks who are gonna vote Republican no matter what either. So, you know, it's just so.
Yeah. Fuck it. Let's just get rid of the two-party system. Like I've thought that since like eighth grade. Since like eighth grade, but
Well, so
I ain't in power.
okay, so say the thing about the two-party system is that it includes the most people. So like we've got two parties, right? There's 100% of the whole, right? You think of the country as a whole. You split it in two. That's 50-50, right? So say you introduce a third party, then somebody can win with 33%. You see where I'm getting? Like so a minority of people gets to control things. So that's
Yeah.
that's why we have a two-party system, because it creates a majority. Like you have to win by
Yeah.
51%. You know.
I understand, but obviously it has done no good in finding us a suitable president. So that's only thing I was gonna say. Is like it's just fucking horseshit. Like what? It's okay. Yeah, it becomes you have to pick one or the other, but then it also becomes I have to pick the worst of two evils.
In recent times, yes, it's just like career politicians who are just seeking a higher and higher office, more and more power. Like, they get off on that.
Yeah.
I think that's what like Hillary was. The funny thing is, like, I really think that Donald Trump initially wanted to run for just the publicity. But now, that he's in there, I really think he's trying to do the best for America. And what he deems to be the best, you may or may not agree with, but I really think he's trying to do his best. Because I do think he loves America and what it stands for. Yeah, he's definitely
No, hey,
more freedom loving
uh,
than the Democrats. That's for sure.
yeah, well, definitely, and that I feel like that comes with just him being as Republican as he fucking is, and as egotistical as he is. Because like I told Dad the other day, I was like, I don't, I don't care too much for Fox News. I think most of it's fucking bullshit. I think most of it's pretty bad, but they do one thing real well, and that is instill the fact that you should be proud to be an American.
Right, and I agree. I think you should. Like, people complain that it's so fucking bad here. There's so many injustices, or there's so much. Just
It is fucked up.
no.
It's not sunshine and fucking rainbows every day.
Sure, everybody's gonna have problems in their life, but it's not. There's no point to me that, so they say this, or it's a racist system. It's a system like systemic justice or systemic racism. Sorry, or racial injustice. Point to me one single law that is inherently racist. You can't do it. Can't fucking do it. And another thing, it's the whole like Black Lives Matter thing and the whole Blackout Tuesday that we did yesterday. I didn't participate because I am not ruled by groupthink. Um, I post.
I haven't been on social media. I've tried to stay away.
Yes, so yesterday everybody was posting the black squares. Okay,
I heard about it. I just didn't go look.
so I saw that and I was like, okay, this is ridiculous. So I posted a cute picture of my 2-month-old baby. Um, and it got a bunch of likes and a bunch of comments about how cute he is. And I said, I know. Just wanted to put a little positivity out there in the world.
See, but like now, is that a bad thing? Because like it's like I don't know what is okay. What is okay now? I feel like I'm walking on fucking it's like walking on fucking thin ice. Like I don't. What is okay? What is okay to say? What is okay to do?
It's you're protected by the freedom of speech, man. You say what you think, and that's it. If so,
No, I know.
but the
I'm genuine and honest. It's just I don't know. It's just there's a lot of people out there that misconstrue. And it's just like people don't
well,
care
and then that's
what we
their
say.
problem. If you say
And
something,
that's another. And then another thing is like the fucking media will just, oh my god. Benny showed me a video today of a woman who, it was like the video was cut so perfectly. It was like just like a woman who seemingly got arrested, and she was like fucking belligerent, and in one shot her breast came out, and she's an African American woman, and it's all male police.
yeah,
And so fucking, and then the next shot, she's laying on the ground and her face is all bloody, and like, and then the last shot is like her being like taken away, and like, so Benny makes me watch all this shit, and I was like, all right, like, what the fuck's the point? And he was like, well,
shows you the actual.
that girl, that girl was belligerently drunk, headbutted the cop. That's how she was bleeding from her face. Is that she headbutted the cop? She bit she bit the officer, in like this dude's like whole bicep was like a bruise,
Uh,
and like she she more like she was gonna take out like a serious chunk of flesh. And so like that's what started the altercation, and then they got her in cuffs, and she headbutted him. But you would never have known any of that. You would have just seen like the cops holding this girl, and her becoming exposed, and then her being just bleeding from the face. And it's like you never would have seen any of that. And it's just like, wow, like, what do you fucking believe? Like who? Like again, I blame the fucking media because
And you
it's like,
should.
what the fuck is real?
Right. Right. Because they're trying to push the agenda that these black people are like hunted by the police, by these racist white police officers. And what was it? I think, oh God, last year or this, yeah, last year or to present day, maybe. I don't know. But last year, sometime, there was 9 unarmed black people killed by police officers. Okay. 19 unarmed white people killed by police officers. You know,
No one's gonna say shit about
you know,
that. That
yeah, yeah,
doesn't. It doesn't sell. It doesn't sell.
right. That doesn't push the agenda forward. Um, so and one of the like the core, so literally the core argument of Black Lives Matter is that people think that Black lives don't matter, right? But
So I guess I don't.
right, I mean, is that
Sure.
is that like am I having a stroke here, or is that like pretty logical to think?
Yeah, it is. It is very logical, but
So
it's I just can't believe that fucking people actually think this shit.
my point is, with this Blackout Tuesday and everybody posting these little black squares, um, there's no one who thinks Black lives do not matter. No one. You cannot point to a person. Sure, I mean, you can't generalize. I'm sure there's some racist hillbilly out in fucking Kentucky who just hates them. But that is such
Yeah,
a small, minute part of this great whole that we have as a country.
yeah, I agree. And it's like people seem to blame like the riots on like black people, and I don't understand that at all. Like it's like there's the protests start for a reason, and then and then I see news footage of a bunch of fucking white people breaking into stores,
Yep.
fucking stealing TVs and shit. It's like, what the fuck? Like, I will never understand.
Dude, it's
Like,
all these like it's the well, okay, so in the more severe, violent, extreme cases, it is the Antifa people. But like just like your average person, your average white person that's out there is like a young person who's just wants to be a part of something. So, but as soon as shit gets real, they freak out and run away. I saw, I saw, I've seen a couple videos of people saying, that exact thing that I just said happens. There's a bunch of white kids, they're fucking around, and then somebody retaliates against them what they're doing, and then they all just scatter, run away, afraid. So there's one instance I just saw before we started the show. Um, it's this group of young uh, white kids. There's a couple of girls and like two boys or something like that, and they're walking down the street, and they start harassing this guy as he's driving by. They like throw some garbage at him or something. This guy fucking stops, whips it around, speeds back, gets out of his car, and he's got like this thing on his arm. It's like this leather thing on his arm with 2 blades attached to it. And he starts running.
the
He
fuck?
starts running at these little white kids, and they just take off. Like, oh my god, it's so hilarious. Like they think that there's no consequences for their actions, and I think personally, it has everything to do with like this uh kind of like nanny state that we have. Like they think that nobody can do anything to them because they've been protected and cared for their whole lives. Like they can't be hurt, they can't be touched, they'll always be protected and taken care of. So they think that,
Well, there's all these fucking Karens that raise
oh
these Karen helicopter fuck
yeah,
parents. Yeah, I can see that, and that's why people are always saying, "Oh, the millennials are gonna be the downfall." Go fuck yourselves.
There's,
Coronavirus and fucking racial fights. This is just astronomical. But I do believe that there are a lot of little white kids that just want to go out and try to cause some fucking mayhem, and
or
it's just
or they're chasing clout on the internet, or
oh
they're trying to virtue signal. They're saying I'm out here supporting this, so that means I'm good.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
You
I
know,
suppose.
they're out there just trying to prove that they're good, but really they're
Yeah.
fucking dumb, and they're gonna get their ass kicked or killed.
See, like we're only really talking about people who want to like cause trouble and go out with an intent other than to peacefully protest. Because that's all. There's fucking I haven't seen any kids around Yorkville somehow. Like there's police posted at like every store in Oswego, and nothing happened in Oswego
Yeah.
because it's like they're not out here really trying to fuck shit up. Like it's
Well,
I don't know.
I mean,
Maybe it might be we're in a small town.
right, you're out in the middle of corn country, so
Yeah, really.
there's a lot of people that will exercise their Second Amendment right and their right
Sure.
to self-preservation if they're attacked. Yeah. So
Oh fuck yeah, they will.
like Blake, he carries his handgun with him all the time. Got it in his car.
Oh, you guys can carry.
Yeah. So I don't blame him. I've thought about getting a gun too. I really
Fuck.
have.
The other night when we had to set out barricades, I've got plenty of friends who have handguns and shit. I contemplated asking, but I was like, then again, I was like, wait, our town has 17,000 people in it. Let's settle the fuck down.
Right. And you live like in the outskirts.
Yeah, yeah,
You're
yeah,
pretty far away from any action that would ever happen.
yeah,
But yeah, I've seriously considered getting a firearm because, well, one, for hunting. Like I want to go hunting. I want to, provide meat for myself and my family. But also for protection and self preservation. Like I, we were walking. We've been walking to Target to get like a couple groceries. It's because it's been nice out after work. We'll take Theo. It's only
yeah,
like a freaking half-mile walk. So we just walked down there and we uh ran into a couple groups of people as we were walking, and in the back of my mind I'm like, okay, they look normal, it's just a bunch of kids walking, but like I'm like,
yeah,
what do I do if they think I'm looking at them wrong and want to fucking get frisky? What do I do? I've got Hannah and a 2-month-old baby in a fucking stroller. What do I do? Thankfully, nothing happens. We live in a very nice area,
yeah,
where there's like zero crime. So, but that thought crosses my head and my mind, and because it's not just like me that I have to look out for now. Um,
no, yeah, yeah,
as a father and a husband, your role kind of is a protector and a provider. I take that very seriously. So
as you should. I mean, I feel like I do that a lot of the time, and it's like I never really thought about it like as like a parent figure because I've never been
right,
that.
well, you'll
Like,
get there. I didn't think about
yeah,
it either.
but like I've noticed I've done this all the time. Like, I hate it when like if I'm walking somewhere and someone like gets like dragged behind or like it's like lagging behind, like I it's like a herding dog, like a dog herding cattle. It's like got to make sure my group is all here. My group, I know where everybody's at. I can keep everybody here. I can
Yeah,
keep everybody safe.
yeah,
But like we like this happens a lot now. Like when we go to bars, if I go to a bar with like a friend of mine who's a girl, like there's some people like when we go to the bar that like are real heavy with their hands and shit, and I know that, and like I've talked to these people about it, and I literally like will stand like in between like the girl that I'm with and these people just because I know like that they do certain shit. And it's like I completely understand that feeling, or like walking around DeKalb. Like I've never really been worried walking by myself ever. Like I don't really think anything's bad's gonna happen. But like in instances like that, like I do have some friends who like I would walk home because they are girls and they fucking are more worried, and that's that male privilege of me walking home not worried. Like I never really had to think about that shit, and some girls like genuinely had to like to talk to me and be like, yeah, like I worry every time I fucking walk home from class, and it's like, oh fuck. But yeah, like I definitely understand that, and it's like when there's something that's like seems like kind of sketchy it's gonna happen, I definitely like find myself like kind of like pushing whoever it is like to the side, like pushing like keeping them like as close to my side as I can, and like keeping as much distance from us and the other party of people
Mm-hmm.
that I can. And like it's just it's weird. It's like something like animalistic takes over.
Yeah, no, it's a protective instinct. Um,
Yeah.
so my first semester at Northern, I lived in the dorm, and there was these group of kids that I lived with in like this communal area. So like there's rooms off of a common area. So
Yeah.
we all knew each other, got along somewhat well, more acquaintances than friends. But
Hmm.
we went out one night to one of the I think it was like the rugby house or something like that. We went out there and
Okay.
you know packed wall to wall or whatever, and
Frat house or
yeah,
whatever.
it's similar, but um, so same kind of thing. Like I'm trying to make sure that they're fine, they're okay. Like we came together, we are expecting to leave together, so I'm trying not to lose these people, both boys and girls. So
Yeah.
it gets late, time to go or whatever. So I'm like trying to find these people. I find the two boys. I'm looking for the two girls. I find them. I grab or I put my hand like on her shoulder and like lean in and like, hey, we're about to leave. You ready? And then kind of like put my hand on her upper back to like kind of guide her through. Same with the other one. Same thing. Shoulder, upper back. That's it.
Yeah.
Okay. And fucking next day, these bitches are saying that I was getting handsy. And I'm like, are you fucking
What the
serious?
fuck?
So I'm like, in my mind, I know that I was trying to get them out of this crazy, crowded, potentially dangerous situation for them,
Yeah.
not for me. I'm
Yeah.
not getting fucking people pinching my ass and trying to feel me up and shit.
Yeah.
Like I'm sure lots and lots of girls do at these places. So I know that what I was doing was more of a like a protective, like get out, let's go, we're going home, go to bed,
Hmm.
okay. And for them to have the fucking nerve to say that they were uncomfortable with me ushering them out, just really grinded my gears. And so the next morning, at after I heard that they were saying that stuff,
Yeah.
I saw him in the dining hall, and I walked over, sat down, and I was like, "So, did you think that when I was, when I was getting you out of there, that I did too much touching or anything?" And both of them were like, well, I knew that they were. I could tell that they were like uncomfortable with me confronting them.
Well, yeah.
Um,
No, you don't spread a rumor and then when the person confronts you, you're not just cool about it.
right, right. So they're like, eventually, they're like, yeah, we were a little uncomfortable, and I was just like, I touched your shoulder so that I could so I could talk to you in this crowded, loud place, and then I touched your upper back so that we could get out of there.
Yeah.
And they're like, yeah, I was not very comfortable with that. And I was like, well, did you get touched by other people there while you were like dancing or doing whatever the fuck you were doing for the couple hours that we were there? And they're like, oh yeah, this one guy was like touching my legs and like pinching my butt, and like one
What
guy
the
pulled
fuck?
my bra strap, and I'm like, and you're fucking getting pissed at me for trying to help you? Like, fuck out of here. So I was pissed off about that, but
I mean, yeah, I could understand that. It's just like, why the fuck? It's just like, what the fuck? You're trying to help,
yeah,
and it's the world is ass backwards.
yes, it absolutely is.
I don't ever. It's like, I feel like I've said that a million times this episode. It's just like, I cannot comprehend this. It is just so weird. So weird. We're going through a pandemic. Now it's like the whole world just hates each other. It's just like, I texted you. It's like, I fuck you. You're Democratic. Fuck you. You're Republican. Fuck you. You're not this. You're not that. It's just like, we all just need to take a fucking breath and realize that we're gonna wake up tomorrow and we'll fucking settle this sooner or later. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I totally agree. Um, yeah, the world's pretty crazy, but you know the funny thing is, for as much as like these present day very very radical people on the left, um, as much as they're like pushing these more socialist and Marxist agendas, the funny thing is, come election day, the same amount of people are going to vote. I guarantee you, turnout is going to be the same or lower as it was in 2016. Guaranteed.
I believe it. I really do, because I've been there. I've sat and watched all the fucking people come in. I
Yep.
really hope. I hope. I just hope. That's all you can
As
do.
fucking
Is just hope
hyped
that
up as this shit is, it's not going to
nothing's gonna
change a damn thing. And I don't know what people are expecting to change. If you have a problem with your police department, what makes more sense? To cry out to the federal government, or to
Vote in a local election.
get involved in your community that you're intimately involved with? What makes more sense? Like I said before, am I having a fucking stroke, or
It's
is that logical?
like, maybe is it is it because mom is a part of the county that we know that like local elections mean a lot more than presidential elections? Like,
No, I think that it's pretty well known. I mean that you're involved in your community, and your community has the most impact on you.
well,
You know,
yeah,
you have the most impact on your community, and your community has the most impact back on you. Like, at the federal level, things are designed to move at a glacial pace. That's how it's done
they're
by design.
I know. I had to explain to a lot of my friends that it's like, look, doing like having these riots is not really going to solve anything. It's a short fix for a long problem.
What is the
And the
long
long
problem?
game is fucking going to vote and getting motherfuckers in there that actually care.
Yeah.
They want to change shit.
Right, but those people don't survive at the state and federal level. They're great, like mayors, uh,
Hmm.
police chiefs like Dwight Baird.
Yeah.
Good, the good like wholehearted people that care about the community. Um, those people don't survive at the state and federal level,
No. Those
because
are
it's a different
career
breed.
politicians.
Yeah, it's a different breed of politician up at that level, who don't care. They pretend they're very good at marketing and speaking and making it seem like they care, but they don't.
Yeah.
That's the problem. So, as always, like, personal responsibility, protect yourself. Exercise your Second Amendment rights. So, I was talking to one of my friends, and I was saying, so if I'm a business owner and my business is getting broken into, bricks thrown through, Molotov cocktails, people rushing in, stealing shit, and I stand behind the counter, pull out a shotgun, and fucking blow somebody away, what happens? What happens to me? Is that self-defense?
Yeah.
Like, so
I really think that it is.
that's
I really think that
that's a question that I had.
I from my understanding, from what we talk about down at the county, it seems if you're on your property, you're in your
Yeah.
own shop, if you're in your own business, and it seems that either one, you or the store, are in jeopardy, you are entitled to protect it.
Well, I think,
Now,
yeah.
I don't know if that means ending a man's life. I don't
If
know.
well, if you fear for your life, then yes, I believe it's justified. And in that situation where there's throwing bricks,
Rick,
rocks, whatever, 2x4s, hammers. I've seen all sorts of shit that these people are using. They've come in with those in their hands. You don't know if they're gonna come and club you in the head.
yeah.
You don't know. Like, so you fear for your life. I would. Just freaking mow them down. But then you got to deal with that the rest of your life. But then you got to think, okay, so you killed 1, 2, 3, 5 people, however many
But
it
why? I don't
takes.
fucking. Do you shoot them first, or do you fucking shoot around past their head? Because are these those fucking little white kids that are just gonna piss down their fucking leg,
Well,
or are
I
they
think
actually gonna come kill you?
after you shoot the first person, and that's the case where they're just scared white boys, they would just run off after you shot that first person, probably. But if
So you're taking the one death toll minimum.
as I sit here and armchair quarterback this situation, um, yeah, absolutely. If I see all the pandemonium that's going on outside, and I know what's going to happen if these people get in, I'm absolutely shooting.
I like how you term that though, armchair quarterback.
That's all. I mean, that's all it is. Because you never know what you're gonna do
Yeah,
in this situation until you're in that
yeah,
situation.
exactly. Yeah, and that's crazy because I was telling you, like I was like, fucking, do I like I could easily find a weapon.
Mm-hmm.
I could easily
Yeah.
and fucking then it's like I kill someone in our fucking front porch, like I gotta sit there and look at the body for a while.
Sure. And then you got to contemplate what you did, and you got to live with that the rest of your life. But you also have to think what would have happened if I didn't do that.
That's a big what if.
Exactly. So you just gotta at that point you I would just have to tell myself that I did what was right for myself and my family and or property by preserving my own life. My
Yeah,
son gets to have a dad. Hannah gets to have a husband.
yeah.
That's how I would
I
justify it
just
in
my
my mind. Cuz that's
yeah.
how I would make it okay, cuz it's not normal, it's not natural to take another person's life.
No,
And
fuck
so
no.
obviously I would be fucked up mentally and emotionally for probably years
Oh yeah,
after that. But
dude, that would be ridiculous.
I think by telling myself that, by doing what I did, that my kid, gets to grow up with a dad, my wife gets to have a husband. I think that would be the foundation on which I get over such a terrible act.
Yeah. I just wonder how that cop's gonna get over fucking killing this.
No, he's unless if he goes to a real prison, he's gonna be killed.
He's gonna die.
Yeah, he's
Yeah.
gonna be killed by some lifers. Gonna stab him in the shower.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean we're at an hour. You want to keep going?
I was just gonna say. I was just. No, it don't really matter. I ain't got too much else to say. I was just curious, like, what the fuck? Like, is he really gonna? He won't. I will be surprised if he goes to Gen Pop. But like, if you get second degree, if they get him on second degree, because that's fucking 9 minutes, probably two of which that he's completely unconscious.
Mm-hmm.
So what if they do get him on second degree? Like, what does that mean?
I am not familiar enough with like legal
No, me neither.
sentencing and all that kind of thing. In the prison system, I'm not. I don't know, but we can speculate.
Yeah, true.
So say yeah, he goes to just a prison, no special treatment, no nothing. The
Is that justice then? Is okay?
him
So
getting killed in prison.
Is that justice? An eye for an eye leaves the world blind.
Yeah. To me, I would say justice is him going to jail for the rest of his life. So I don't know. To these other people who are out rioting in the streets, they want to burn it all down.
Yeah, they don't. Yeah, fuck. They care less what prison he's in. Oh Jesus, that's just ridiculous. Could you imagine? Oh, what the fuck? Oh my God, could you imagine? What if you were him and you're then in prison and they just don't kill you? They just fucking mean mug you day in and day out.
You just think it's coming.
Yep, and they just let you live.
He
Oh my
probably
fucking God.
he'd probably kill himself after a while.
Oh yeah. Holy shit.
Couldn't handle that pressure. No way. That mental stress. No way. He'd probably kill himself.
Just oh boy. He if he goes to prison, he ain't coming out.
No.
Ever.
No.
He coming out. He going to the cemetery.
Right. Yeah. I truly believe that if he goes to just a standard prison, no protection, yeah, he's gonna get killed. Okay, I got a couple more. If you're good to.
Oh yeah, go ahead.
All right. So I mentioned a little bit earlier, like how a lot of the white people are, who are supporting this are going out of their way. I mean, you can support it in any way that you want. I personally, I think that everybody has personal responsibility for their own actions. I don't think that the system is inherently against you. I think everybody goes through problems. I think everybody has challenges. You did, yeah. I did, Hannah did, Theo will. Everybody has to overcome challenges.
Yep.
Some people get more help overcoming those. Like, we are not rich. We've had to struggle. We've had all these different things that we've had to accomplish, and some people have it worse off than than we do. Some people have it way better. That's just
it's the same everywhere.
That's just how the world is.
Life isn't fair.
Yes. So for these, my thing that I want to bring up is these white people who are going out of their way, tripping over themselves to show that they are a black ally, that they care about black people, that they're good. It's this whole like I said, virtue signaling thing. They think that by showing that they care on their social media, and it's all on social media. It's nobody will ever do this. Well, rarely will somebody say something like that. Like, I am a black ally in person. It's all on social media. It's all for For
social media clout.
yes, that's all what it all is for. But as another white person, you are, because they did it, you are expected to follow suit. And if you don't, you are supposed to feel guilt. You are supposed to feel like you are against black people by not doing this. So, what do you think about that and the overall theme of having white guilt? You should be guilty for being white because that inherently gives you an advantage in life.
I don't feel it like that. Like in the light of like it has definitely been brought up like privilege, and I think it is. I think white privilege is a real thing in certain circumstances. Like in the instance of me getting pulled over by a police officer, I've never really been sweating. Like I never really thought that I was gonna not walk away from a instance with a police officer. And I've talked to a number of people who now have told me that they have felt that way, and I firmly believe them, and they are not white. So, and every like most white people I've ever run into, they're only sweating like that if they know that they've fucking done something wrong and they got caught. Whereas if like no one's ever been, because everybody, okay, that just might be who the fuck I am, because everybody knows that I work for whatever I want, anything I want, really. I work for it myself.
Mm-hmm.
And so people never like, it's never been a question of like, oh, you got like your job because you're white. It was never like really like that, like not in my own personal experience. But if that's how certain individuals feel about one another, I don't understand that. I don't really understand why. Like I don't I question the fact that I should be made felt guilty because white people made slaves however many years ago. I had no part in that. I'd fucking do the same shit labor job that any other motherfucker. I could give two fucks. If you're working a shit job and I see you working a shit job and we work together, I'm gonna probably do it with you because it sucks a lot less when there's two of you.
Right.
Shoveling shit goes by a lot faster with two
That's
shovels.
true.
But I don't know. I try not to take advantage of that or anything. I don't go out drinking and driving and fucking being a hooligan trying to get away from the police and shit, knowing that I'm white and that seems to be an scapegoat. But I've never really been worried being pulled over by the police, and that's apparently white privilege.
Um,
So
so you said that you had talked to people who are non-white persons who were pulled over or had some kind of altercation with the police officers, and they legitimately thought that they might be killed.
yes.
Okay. Why did they feel that way? Was the police officer being aggressive? What did it?
They said that he was being very like verbally aggressive and had his hand like more or less on his unholstered, or not like unstrapped, not unholstered, unstrapped pistol, and like hand, flashlight one hand, like hand on my fucking pistol hip.
Okay,
Look,
right, but he wasn't pointing it at him. Like, what you would have felt the exact same way, right?
oh fuck yeah, I would have been scared shitless.
Okay, so were they scared for their life because of the situation that they found themselves in, or because the narrative that the media shows is that young black people or young people of color are being hunted and killed by police officers? What's which one?
They're believing the narrative that they're being hunted, but the police are kind of helping that portrayal
Well, sure.
in the fact that they're being aggressive and not like why the fuck you gotta do that shit?
Because the police
It's a
officer,
routine traffic
the
stop.
the police officer doesn't know, or he in his past experiences, maybe he got a fucking knife pulled on him, or they pulled a gun, or ran, or did something. So in his past experiences, the safest thing for him to do is shine a flashlight with his left hand and have his other hand ready to pull his weapon. Because at the end of the day, that motherfucker wants to go home to his family.
Yeah.
He's not. He's
But
not
so does
out.
the person driving the
Right,
car.
but he's not out to kill somebody. He's that guy that killed George Floyd. He didn't wake up that morning and think, I'm gonna go lynch me a black person today. Like, fucking,
Yeah.
he did not think that. But that's
It's
what they
just
want you to believe about police officers.
yeah, that's out to get you.
Yeah. So, and like the whole like white guilt thing, like if you don't go along, if you don't toe the line, if you question the narrative at all, you just get destroyed on the internet by these other fucking white intellectual liberals. Like, oh my god. But like, if that's the case, why don't we? Why are we living in America where you have the ability to question things? Like you have, like I'm by nature a very like skeptical person. I question
I'm with you.
everything. Like these whole riots. Like, what is the real purpose? Do they really care about George Floyd's death? The answer is no. They don't care about it. And the riots are to push this crazy radical narrative agenda from Antifa and Black Lives Matter. Um,
Yeah.
Shit gets me riled up. But
Oh
me,
yeah, I know.
like as a white person, I'm supposed to, like I said, toe the line and believe these certain things, go along with these certain things, like posting that black square, and I just can't bring myself to do it.
I like I said, okay, so in light of everything that has been happening, especially now with like fucking borderline having race wars, I have tried to stay as far away from social media as I can.
That's a good thing.
Like I go on I don't go on Instagram. I'll go on Twitter now and again at work just to get disgusted and put my phone down. Like it's terrible. Like everywhere I look, it's just like it's fucking it's like black and white. It's like one side hates the other so fucking hard, and then the other side just fuck the other, and then it's just like it's so much hate. It's so much hate
Oh,
that I
dude.
guys had to put my phone down because it's just like bringing me down. Like what the fuck?
I saw a video. It was a group of white people, big group, 100, 150 people, 200 maybe, big group, on their hands and knees, begging for forgiveness from this random black person, like who is standing at a podium making these white people recite these words. I don't know if this person was just making them up or they're like a verse from the Bible or something. I don't fucking know. But these white people were on the ground, hands and knees, begging for forgiveness, reciting these words that this guy was saying. He's like, I will uh, love my black brother. I am sorry for the pain and suffering that my whiteness has caused you, and like all this shit.
So is that what it's gonna take? Is us to fucking step down from this pedestal that we're apparently standing on and uphold them like we're like God?
Right. So it's like isn't that kind of racist that black people are making white people do this thing? Like, isn't that like
Uh,
based on like they're making them repent for their whiteness? Like, isn't that pretty racist on the black people's part?
Careful now. I,
I'm pretty sure it is.
I
Anybody can be racist,
yeah.
Jackson.
No, I know. Oh, I know. Trust me. I've seen. I. I feel like my Mexican friend, or I'm a bunch of Mexicans I know hate Mexicans more than any other Mexicans I ever met. I don't understand
Dude,
it. I don't understand it.
like
It's
old.
like, oh, Dave Chappelle talk about Asian people.
Oh my god. Um, but dude, like Italian people,
Oh.
very
Right.
racist. Like,
Yeah.
there's very very distinct parts of Italy. Um, they do not like the other parts. Found that out
Hey,
recently.
I mean, that's fucking Yorkville and Morris for all I fucking care.
Fucking toilet town. How do you get to Morris, Jackson?
Just follow the smell of
You
shit.
head south till you smell shit.
Yep. Yep. That's about right. Fuck. I don't know. What the fuck's good? What's good that's happened to Reeves recently? How the fuck's Theo doing? Fuck.
Uh,
I'm tired of this depressing shit.
yo,
Anger fueled.
Big Theodore, he's smiling. He's long. He looks long as fuck. I gotta measure him. Um,
Yeah.
he was 24 inches at his 8-week appointment. So Friday will be 10 weeks. So I gotta measure him, see how much he's growing. But he looks long to me, just from the eye, it looks long. Um, he's doing good. He's awake and actively awake a lot during the day. He's
Can he like? Does he like track
oh yeah,
yet? Like, can he like?
oh yeah, oh yeah,
Ooh,
yeah.
he like tracks you around the room and
Yep.
shit.
So earlier we were doing tummy time, so he's laying on his stomach. Okay,
Okay.
Hannah's on his left side. I'm on the right side, and we're both
Okay.
laying on the ground or whatever. So you do tummy time with a baby so that they can strengthen their neck because he's like, he's laying on the ground like this.
Mm-hmm.
So he's got to lift his head up, to look around and like see things. So it strengthens their neck and
Yeah.
their back and their upper body. So that eventually they can roll over, push themselves out and roll over. So
Yeah.
they're doing tummy time, and he pushes himself up, and he looks over at Hannah because she says something, like looks at her, and I say, hey, look over here, and he turns his head, looks at me, and then like goes back, looks at Hannah, and then turns back, looks at me. He's like just holding himself up, like he's getting a lot more strength. He's getting a lot more head control. Um,
Yeah.
and then like he smiles a lot, very very smiley. I was trying to get him to laugh earlier. I was tickling his foot. It just made him
Yeah.
uncomfortable, and he just was like, stop that. um, yeah, so he's just growing, hanging out. He was a little upset earlier. I don't know why really. He was just a little tired, hungry maybe.
Yeah.
But yeah, majority of the time just hanging out, just awake, kind of looking around, looking at stuff. I was holding my hands above him, and he was like trying to like flail his arm up, and like I would grab his arm if he would like come near my hand.
Yeah.
Um, and he liked playing that game for a little bit. Uh, yeah, he's just chilling, just hanging out. My garden. I don't know if you've watched our videos, but
I watched one while I was at work today. Fuck, I don't remember which one it was. Shit, I think it was one of the older ones.
okay. Um,
One of the it was the one where the first one that you posted
okay.
again.
Yeah, so it's progressed a lot from there. Like a lot of stuff's coming up. Um, Saturday when mom's here, we're gonna put in.
Oh God, I forgot. She leaves on Thursday,
She
doesn't
leaves
she?
tomorrow morning. Yes.
Jesus Christ, that's tomorrow.
uh,
Oh shit.
so when she's here, we're going to on Saturday. We're gonna have a whole day. So we're gonna put potatoes in, tomatoes, bell peppers, and jalapenos, and then in the evening, like when it starts to get dark,
Yeah.
um, we're gonna grill out and have like a nice just hangout session. So it's gonna be a lot of fun. Yeah, I'm looking forward to that.
Mom's very excited.
Yeah, yeah. So yeah, we're going to the market in the morning. She wants specifically a bagel from Water Street Bagel. Uh,
Oh my
she
god.
wants a bagel from there, and they're real good. So
Oh
uh,
yeah.
we're going there, get some breakfast. We're going to the market, get some eggs and some meat and whatever else. I don't know what we're gonna get. Um, and then we're heading out to plant and stuff. Uh, I might buy a shotgun for my friend, but
How much? 12 gauge?
he said he had a 410 and a 12 gauge is
Okay.
also.
Okay.
Um,
How much?
didn't tell me a price, but I'm probably not going to buy it because I just bought Hannah a computer. She need
Oh
she needs
shit.
one for school, so I got her the MacBook Air, which like they just updated, I guess. So
Yeah. Yeah, I saw something about that.
yeah, we're going order that. We can pick that up, curbside pickup at the Apple store in at the mall.
Hey,
So
there you go.
going to pick that up tomorrow. And she got the gold. It's a gold color one.
Dang. Hey,
Whatever.
there you go.
That's what she wanted.
She's smart.
That's what she wanted. She didn't want gray like my MacBook. Didn't want silver like her mother's. So she had to get the gold.
Hey, I had a pink iPhone just because I thought it was cool.
Yeah.
So fuck it.
Yeah, I was recording a video for at the farm, and my phone was like, oh, storage is full. I'm like, what? What the fuck? I
Oh.
was like, I don't have that many pictures on there. I removed them all like, a month or two ago. Um, turns out I had 50 gigabytes, 50 gigabytes of podcasts downloaded. I was like, Jesus Christ.
Oh
It
my
had
god.
downloaded every single podcast I've listened to since like the dawn of time. I was like, okay, well, delete those. So yeah.
Oh man. Wow. Yeah, that's dope that you got our nice computer. I just ordered parts, and I thought that some parts were supposed to be here today. And so I got into work this morning, and I was driving around, and I ain't had nothing better to do since I got done weed whacking this little corner. So I went down to the old Amazon application,
Yeah.
and I was like checking on my order,
Mm-hmm.
just seeing like I don't remember what the fuck parts. I think my operating software, my SSD, my RAM, and something else. I ordered like four parts, and I ordered the OP1, which is a music
Yeah.
synthesizer. And I checked that wasn't supposed to get here. That's like the part that I'm most excited about because the other shit I'm just ordering. It's just parts. It's just parts for now. It's part of a project that's a longer
Yeah.
plan. So I got the OP1, which is something that I can play with. That I'm really excited to adventure and use. But this is what it looks like.
Yeah, that's cool.
It's just like a little MIDI keyboard, but it's got like 8 different synth engines that I could play with, and I could. There's a bunch of different like softwares that I could download on my computer and upload to this thing,
Mm-hmm.
and uh, like I was telling you before, like I could just make music and I could make fucking just like little theme songs and shit for us. And
That'd be cool.
yeah, I just wanted to make music because I've been feeling a lot more interested in music as of recently. I don't know why, but
Whatever. Yeah, sure.
something fun to play with. That's about all I've done. I don't think any of my other fucking parts came. They were supposed to come today, so that's cool.
Uh, did you order all of them?
No, because not everything was available. So I was like looking at it, and I was like, fuck, I thought I was just gonna build my computer in one
Yeah.
go. Now I'd have to wait like a month. That's a whole lot of time. It's just itching. I needed something I could play with. So I got that. So I'll be spending a lot of time on YouTube. Because like I think it's like I was thinking about this at work the other day, and it's like there's sounds to literally everything that you
Mm-hmm.
see. Anything that you see and there's most likely going to be an audio along with a
Mm-hmm.
visual. And especially with like video games, like you can make like music for video games. Like I didn't even know that was a thing. I didn't ever even thought about it. I was in a summer class at Wabanzi, and this I God I it's like it was like a 3 fucking hour long class, and there's this little Asian kid, and he never talked, but he was a fucking beast. All right, so one day like he gave us like a half-hour break, so like we just sat there in class and like didn't like we just like talked. God, there was one girl, and she was so bad in that class. I never talked to her, but scared, whatever. So I was like, it was a straight silence for like the first like 2 weeks of this class during that half-hour break, and I was like, I didn't know where my headphones were. I was like losing my mind sitting there in the silence. Like I can't do it. It's just like, well, does anybody listen to music? And this little Asian kid like fucking turns around as soon as I said something. He's like, dude, I love music. Like, what's good? Like, what do you like? And I was like, God, thank you, motherfucker, thank you. You can talk to somebody. Shit. And fucking we just like talked about music. I talked how I like a lot of like hip hop, and I like a lot of Kanye. Kanye really likes a lot of synthy songs, and that's why I kind of was leading down this road because he's got a lot of synth engines. But this kid put me onto this. I think it's like Carpenter Brute is the band name, and it is video game, like that is like the genre is like video game music.
Hmm.
And the album really fucking weird, really really weird. But there's a couple songs that fucking slap.
Yeah.
Like I was like, holy shit, this is all right. Okay, all right, weird dude from class, I see you. But yeah, so I don't know. I've always thought it'd be interesting to make music. Like I remember fucking shoveling the driveway with Dad's iPod Nano and trying to like figure out how words rhyme and shit. So I don't know. I've always been interested in this kind of stuff.
Well, you better make something and then share it. Be a be a SoundCloud rapper.
Yeah, I know. That's the thing. I don't fuck that. I would make. This is the thing. This is the thing. I've thought about this a lot, and I was like, I kind of just want to make like some fuck around songs and like put out on like SoundCloud and shit. But then like write an album that I could like make a visual for that it would like the visual would be like an hour long, so it'd be like more or less a movie that would all be the album,
Mm.
if that makes sense.
Yeah.
I think that'd be really fucking interesting. Really hard to do, really long, but it'd be really interesting to do. Really fucking interesting to do.
I agree. I think that's about our time. I think. Well, this video is gonna get instantly flagged and pulled from YouTube, so because of our different thinking.
Yeah.
But that's the way the cookie crumbles. If you question the narrative, you get destroyed on the internet.
Hey, well, if this video gets deleted, we'll fucking know for sure.
And then we'll just talk about it again. All right. Well, thank you for watching. Nobody's going to make it this far, so see you next time.